Hey everybody, this is GGB co-host Peppers. We're getting back into the action here, my friends. Third quarter. Actually, there's 2 seconds left in the second quarter. They didn't get the knee down. It's not something that they didn't get that down in time. They didn't count it because of I don't know. They did seem to count it. I think it's just one of those weird things in Madden because I had to stop last night because I had to go to bed because I had to go to work the next day. Bow, bow, bow. I don't know if they're ever going to get out of these huddles. They definitely seem to be staying in them a while. But we're going to watch this knee. We're going to get into the action after the knee. Let's see. The knee's coming. The knee is up. The knee is down. And there we go. Mahomes ruins his rushing stats. But honestly, yeah, I don't know who else has been extremely impressed with the Big 12 because I have been. I don't know which team impressed me more. Big 10 coming out and absolutely dominating like they did against a pretty good Mountain West team, or the Big 12. The Big 12 has really been an impressive team so far today. Now, if they make a mistake on this drive, it could easily go away. Like, this is an 8-point game. This is far from over. But if Mahomes keeps playing like he is, I find it difficult to believe they'll lose with Mahomes playing the way he has been. Returning is Tyler Lockett. He's going to bring it up through the middle. He gets it all the way up to about the 27-yard line. Nice return there by Tyler Lockett. And, yeah, I don't know if anyone else has been impressed, because I honestly thought it might be a close game. I thought if they were only losing by, 7 points at halftime, it's a good game. They're winning by 8. That is insane to me. They have scored 5 touchdowns in the first half. They could put up a 70-burger easily. Now, if you're here, I'd start running the ball. You haven't been running it very often. This is their prototypical set with the one tight end. They go play action. Mahomes runs this ball. He gets about 3 yards before being tackled. So yeah, that wasn't exactly a good play, but they probably called. See, the thing is, for these offenses, they're used to having their normal quarterbacks. So yeah, just like the MAC calls plays for Lamar Jackson, even though Big Ben Roethlisberger's their quarterback, the Cardinals are going to call plays for Kyler Murray, despite having Mahomes as their quarterback. So Mahomes goes shotgun here. Looks like it's going to be a run with Joe Mixon. It is, and he's going to be quickly tackled, 31-yard line. It's a chance for the SEC can force a stop. Why is Mahomes on the sidelines? Why is Mixon on the sidelines on this 3rd and 6? It makes no sense to me. I don't know if it makes any sense to anyone else. Why are they on the sideline? But, I just decided to be on the sideline for a little bit and getting some information from Coach. But yeah, this is a big 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down because if they punt it, SEC has a chance to tie the ball game. Mahomes goes empty set here. Looks like it might be a blitz by the SEC. It turns out to be only 4 members, so they bring the blitz. He scrambles out. He fires it to an open Mark Andrews. What a play by Patrick Mahomes. What a play by that offensive line, giving him plenty of time to find Mark Andrews deep. I thought he might scramble that one, pick up the 1st down. He ends up picking a lot more, and Joe Judge is upset. By the way, I was looking at it today because normally the SEC has no competition, and it's like one coach. Joe Judge is going to have a little bit of a competition next year. I don't remember. Well, the new coaches, I believe Robert Saleh is from an SEC school, so if the Jets do better than the Giants, I think Dan Campbell is too. But shotgun here for Patrick Mahomes. He has plenty of time to throw. He throws it underneath the Mixon, who picks up about 4 yards on the play. And this is what the offense was like before halftime. I understand it doesn't seem like a lot, but the dink and dunk offense has worked so far for this team. It really has. Joe Mixon it's not just Joe Mixon, but it's been a good amount of Joe Mixon here today. Tyler Lockett has been, I don't know, he's the number 1 receiver, so obviously you're drawing the number 1 cornerback. Andrew Beck's on the field, makes it an interesting play when he's on it. I think it's play action. That's my bet. They do go play action. He's going to get sacked. Nice sack by Zadarius Smith. Brings up a big 3rd and 16. It's going to be difficult. Nice blitz off the edge. First sack for the SEC, by the way. This is the SEC that has Von Miller, Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith. All these guys are rushing the Packer. Chris Jones, Fletcher Cox. Why haven't they sacked him more than once? I gotta give props to this Big 12 offensive line. They've done a phenomenal job. I didn't think it was gonna happen. Maybe Trent Williams was gonna lock down his guy, and that's happened so far. But Lane Johnson has done an amazing job. Cody Whitehair's done a great job on the inside. They bring a little blitz. He fires underneath to Joe Mixon, picks up about 0 yards, and they're gonna have to punt this ball away. SEC defense coming out hot. And the defense for the Big 12 is going to have to do something similar. I think that pick at the end of halftime might have changed the momentum of the game for the SEC. Nice play there by, I believe, Adoree Jackson. And they're going to have to punt this ball away. First time the Big 12 punter has had to punt so far this game, which is an interesting thing to say. But yeah, this is going to be Tressway. Tressway was a huge part of that MAC game, absolutely pinning him. And let's see if he pins him here. It's going to be at about the 11-yard line. Decent pin by Tressway. Tressway is one of my favorite punters in the entire NFL. I don't know if anyone agrees. And Dak Prescott's going to take the field again. Julio Jones has been killing it. He really has. There's two receivers that have been insane. Well, I knew Julio Jones was going to be a hard matchup. The Sterling Shepard thing has really surprised me here. But the defense hasn't been horrible for the Big 12. Now, really, I set that up here. They've gotten a good amount of pressure on him if they bring a blitz. I don't know. They got to figure out something to do with Julio, and they got to figure out how to generate a 4-man pass rush. 2 tight end set. I bet it's going to be a run to Nick Chubb. It's been a tough day for him. Let's see if they can get him going on the ground. Jared Cook goes to the top. They run it up the middle with Nick Chubb, who has a huge hole, gets it up to the 30-yard line before being tackled. But yeah, Chubb has had a rough day. You have that one run, but outside of that, he has been rather unproductive here. Which is interesting, considering he's one of the best running backs in the entire NFL. They have one of the best, I think the best running back core in the game, and Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara. Sean Elliott with the tackle. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be, I think it's going to be a pass here. Although the run game is smart to just run it with that. But they go draw up the middle, and he's going to get tackled. Injury timeout for Julio Jones. Oh no, if you're the SEC. Oh no. David Irving with his first tackle. And that's 2 important injuries for the SEC and Evan Jenkins and now Julio Jones. We'll see if Julio Jones comes back in this game. But if you don't get him back, he is easily the only receiver that the Big 12 is scared of. You have been basically able to lock down Mike Evans for an entire game. Amari Cooper has 1 catch. Odell Beckham Jr. has 2. You're taking away the only player that has had a decent amount of production here today. Not decent, he's been killing it. But yeah, take away the other guy. Been really good. And bring Alvin Kamara into the game, so likely a passing down. They do. It looks like it could be. They actually go underneath with Alvin Kamara, who takes it up to the 35-yard line, gets 3 yards on the ground. I thought they were going to go to Hunter Henry because he looked open on that play. But yeah, Alvin Kamara is probably your most productive player so far now that Julio Jones is out, which isn't good. I understand, like, Alvin Kamara, that normally is, he is the most productive player on the Saints. But he's the 3rd-string running back, so having him as your most productive player is not good. So they bring a little bit of blitz here. He has time. He fires it to an open Hunter Henry, and this is what you got to do. Hunter Henry has, I think he has 4 catches, which is the most out of everyone except for Alvin Kamara. So yeah, you got to figure it out. You got to figure out who to go to next. I mean, obviously the receivers are being locked down by these corners. And Hunter Henry was able to find a mismatch on Nick Kwiatkowski, who has been not great in coverage, I got to say. He's made some big-time plays, getting up there, making sure you get the tackle. Curry Blasingame, it looked like, was on the field, although it looks like the 2 tight end set. Never mind, Curry Blasingame is not on the field. But Jared Cook and Hunter Henry, Mike Evans is running. He has time. He fires it underneath to Mike Evans. First catch of the ball game for Mike Evans. Maybe he'll get going here. 7 yards and 9 yards. I'm sorry, 9 yards. This has turned into a rather productive drive for this SEC Giants. I've been impressed. I don't know if anyone else has been impressed. The poise, they've come back after halftime after losing by 8, and they got a big defensive stop, and they're having a nice drive here. A 3 tight end set. They're gonna go run. Yeah, they do go run. And it's going to be gets a good amount of yards, and Nick Chubb, maybe they got Nick Chubb going. Who knows? He was not going anywhere before halftime, but maybe that halftime turned things around. And these SEC Giants are driving, and you're a little bit worried if you're a Big 12 fan because, I don't know, it's going to be interesting if they score a touchdown here on this drive. They go play act. Actually, they go run up the middle with Nick Chubb still, and he's going to be quickly tackled by Nick Kwiatkowski. I'm telling you, he might be a little bit of a... He's not great in coverage. I just have to say that. Of the linebackers, I am more concerned about him in coverage than probably Kenneth Murray Jr. and Jordan Brooks, despite them being rookies. But yeah, he's done a phenomenal job here today. So it looks like it's going to 2 tight end set here. They've been running that a lot more since the Julio Jones injury. They quickly get in there to tackle Nick Chubb. He had nothing going there. And I think the thing is, without Julio Jones, you're not really afraid of a receiver beating you. Xavien Howard is going to lock up Mike Evans. I just don't see anything other than that. And Amari Cooper is Chris Harris Jr. So Julio Jones is the only one that really scares you. So important 3rd and 5 here. They bring a 4-man rush. He has plenty of time to scan the field. He throws it underneath to Hunter Henry, who makes a nice catch. That was nice coverage there by, I believe, I don't know who 23 is. It's Quandre Diggs, a little safety. Probably not the best idea, although Quandre Diggs is a pretty good cover safety. I wouldn't match him up one-on-one with the tight end. That has been the only good thing I can think of. He is the only reliable player outside of Alvin Kamara for this offense. No one else has been doing all that much. Mike Evans has 1 catch on this drive. Amari Cooper has none. OBJ has none. They've been running a lot of 2 tight end sets, to be fair, though. It means OBJ doesn't see the field much. They go run up the middle with Nick Chubb, who's going to get about 5 yards in the run, and a pretty productive run. Tackled there by Nick Kwiatkowski. He's been racking up the tackles lately, 5 tackles in this game so far. This brings up a 2nd and 5, and it's just Nick Chubb's one of the only players I would trust if I'm the SEC Giants. Obviously, Hunter Henry's a reliable pair of hands, but Dak Prescott goes under center here. This is likely going to be a run again. They do go run up the middle. He's going to get tackled by number 55. Who's number 55? I've forgotten his name. But yeah, 3rd and 3. It's an important one. Bruce Irvin. So Bruce Irvin is not a player that sees the field a lot. You can see by his first tackle, but made a big-time play there, 3rd and 3. Let's see if they go run here with Nick Chubb, or if they go... I think might go pass to Hunter Henry. They seem to have Curry blasting him in the huddle every time, but he never is on the field. They actually have Alvin Kamara out here, so they're not going to go run. They go pass here. They go they go zone. He fires. It's picked off. He's going. He might be gone. He might be going all the way. He is. As long as Alvin Kamara can't catch him, and he can't, it's going to be a touchdown. And how things quickly change. And Xavien Howard makes the 92-yard return. Xavien Howard. How many good things can I say about Xavien Howard before it seems like I'm repeating myself? He is easily one of my favorite players on this Big 12 team. I know I said that about a lot of players. I say it about... Well, it's just Xavien Howard. He locked down Mike Evans on that play. And he's been locking him down all night. But it's just... I have so many good things to say about a lot of these players because I do really am impressed with some of them. Nick Kwiatkowski has been one of my favorite linebackers in covering the ground game. He is he's a sure tackler. He stuffs the run rather nicely. See if Justin Tucker makes this extra point, make it a 15-point ball game. Kick is up. Kick is good by Justin Tucker. It's a 15-point ball game in New York City. One of the biggest plays of the night. And we've had 4 turnovers so far today, but the SEC Giants haven't been able to do a lot with those turnovers. They have scored a grand total of 3 points off those 2 turnovers. The Big 12 has scored 14 points off those 2 turnovers. So that is the difference in this ball game. Sure, they're up by 15 now, but 11 points makes it a much more interesting ball game if they didn't do that. But Justin Tucker to kick this one away. And I know I keep repeating myself about how great. It's just this Big 12 defense is really surprised me. Tre'Davious White with the return only brings it up to about 20-yard line, 21-yard line. They mark it. But, I mean, the Big 12 defense has impressed me. I don't know anything else to say other than that. I mean, I don't know. You have Nick Kwiatkowski, who's been one of my favorite players to watch. You have Xavien Howard, who locks down his player. You have Jason Verrett, who makes big-time plays coming in. You have Earl Thomas back there in the secondary, who provides big-time hits. You have some rookies that have done a phenomenal job this year, and Jordan Brooks and Kenneth Murray Jr. has been a large part of their success. They bring Kari Blasingame onto the field. This might be a run up the middle. They do go run up the middle with Nick Chubb, who was going to be tackled, but they get the tackle regardless. It was going to be a no gain, but they get 2 yards in the play. Chris Harris Jr. with that tackle. A little star by him. And it's interesting because Chris Harris Jr. He's the number 2 corner, and that shows how good this secondary is. And I really thought that was the strength of this team was the secondary. But the linebacker core has played phenomenally well here tonight. Looks like a 2 tight end set here by the SEC Giants. Might be another run. They do go run up the middle, and he has a good amount of room. He gets 10 yards on the play. And Nick Chubb has quickly turned his game around. He's turned into a very good runner, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. I did not think that was going to happen after the first half. But yeah, it's been interesting, though. It really has been. I mean, sure, the SEC Giants have gotten the ground game going finally. But that Julio Jones injury might come back to seriously hurt them. Now, this drive can cut it to an 8-point lead, but... Or a 7-point lead, despite if they go for the extra point or not. Again, you can see Blasingame, right? I'm not the only one in the huddle. Okay, so it looks like a 3 wide receiver set, 1 tight end with Hunter Henry. They go draw off the middle, and he's going to get tackled. Only about a 2-yard gain there. Nice play by Alex Okafor. Alex Okafor is normally, he plays the rush defensive tackle position if they want to rush a player. They don't really have great defensive tackles, so for getting upfield, that's why Alex Okafor comes into the ball game. Nice play by Alex Okafor. And this is going to be a pass because you can see Alvin Kamara is on the field. They bring a blitz, and he's going to get sacked by Nick Kwiatkowski. 6 tackle the ball game, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. I mean, Nick Kwiatkowski has done it all for this team outside of coverage. He has not been a great coverage linebacker here today, but he's been phenomenal rushing the passer. He's been a phenomenal tackler, making sure they don't get much run. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, if they win this game, they likely, outside of basically a miracle happening with the Independents, they likely play the Big Ten. It's going to be interesting what they do against that Big Ten offensive line, and if that offensive line is going to be able to handle the Big Ten defensive line, which is very good. So they bring a 4-man rush. He has plenty of time. He fires it. That's going to be picked off again. Another pick by this Big 12 defense. He's going to take it to the 43-yard line. Earl Thomas did that one. 3rd pick of the ballgame for Dak Prescott, and he's looking like he doesn't have the confidence he used to. They're trying to go deep with OBJ, and it just does not work. Earl Thomas undercuts that. And I'm telling you, I mean, the Big 12 has come in here to play. Joe Mixon has not been productive. They're showing that stat. I agree. Joe Mixon hasn't been productive, but the Big 12 defense has really stepped it up when they needed to. Obviously, the offense is really good. I mean, I don't think anyone will argue against that, although the offense hasn't scored a touchdown here. But the defense has really fulfilled their end of the bargain here this episode. They're 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end set. This is really their perfect set. I really love them running it. They go pitch to the outside with Joe Mixon, who's going to get tackled in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards. Nice play there by Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith has been one of the few bright sides of this defense. I didn't expect him to be. He's been one of those players that I didn't expect to be making a huge impact, but Roquan Smith really has done a great job here tonight of stopping the run. And I haven't noticed him in coverage, which means that's probably a good thing. I mean, I didn't mention Xavien Howard like as in a play. Xavien Howard made until his pick six. So in coverage, you don't make a lot of big time plays if you're locking down your man because they're not going to throw to him. Sterling Shepard in motion. They bring a blitz. He fires it underneath to Joe Mixon again. Picks up about 4 yards, making it a 3rd and 9. So yeah, the offense hasn't been killing it this quarter, but the defense has more than made up for that lack of offense. And I'll praise as much as I want in the Big 12 defense. I mean, the Big 12 defense, does the Big 12 known for letting great players come out of that defense? The SEC is known for that. It's what the SEC is known for. I thought if they were going to win, it's got to be all on Patrick Mahomes. The defense has carried them a lot in this game. Mahomes goes shotgun. 4-man rush. He has time. He scrambles out. He fires it across his body. Oh, and I don't know if he misses the pass or Mark Andrews just didn't go for it. But it's going to be an incomplete pass. Tressway is going to be sent out again to make this punt. And the offense hasn't been doing much, but the defense has been so great that it hasn't really had to do a lot. Oh, they're actually going to try the field goal. This is going to be an insanely long field goal from the 42-yard line. Let's see if Justin Tucker can nail it. Justin Tucker with the long field goal. Does he have the leg? He does have the leg. What a field goal by Justin Tucker. And this is why the special teams matters. I understand Tressway has only punted once, but it was a good punt, and I think they might have the best special teams in the entire tournament. You have Tressway at punter, and you have Justin Tucker, who just has an amazing leg. There's no range on this man. It's probably going to be a short kickoff because I got to think his leg's tired after going with that long kick. But yeah, it's an 18-point ball game, 3-possession game. Now we've seen teams come back from a 3-possession deficit before. The MAC against the Big 12, weirdly enough, and it was that early on in the fourth quarter that they came back from the 17-point deficit. So we'll see if maybe the SEC can come back from the 18-point deficit, and they have a lot more firepower, and they have a better quarterback in Dak Prescott. You have better receivers really outside of, I don't know, it really match up really better against the Big 12 at all the different positions, but for some reason I just don't have the same amount of confidence I did when the MAC was doing, because the MAC was actually producing offensively, and I thought maybe they could stage a comeback. The SEC has been doing horribly, but Dak Prescott under center. They're going to throw here. He fires it on the slant. I don't know who that was. That was to Amari Cooper making his second catch of the ball game. Yeah, 400 total yards offensively, but for some reason it hasn't felt like that. Actually, 3rd catch of the ball game. I'm sorry, Amari Cooper. Chris Harris Jr. with his 4th tackle. And you got to think that if to normally upset a team, you got to garner some sort of pass rush. They just haven't unless they're bringing a blitz so far. But they're up by 18 points. They go pass again here, fires it to a wide-open Hunter Henry, who takes it for about 15 yards on the play, and they're driving down this field rather nicely. As long as Dak Prescott doesn't make a horrible mistake here. I mean, the defense has shown that they can get stops, so it is possible here to stage a comeback, although it's gonna be difficult because of how good the Big 12 defense has been. So it's going to be interesting. They're driving down this field, but does maybe Dak Prescott make a 4th mistake in this game? Maybe a 4th pick? Dak Prescott goes shotgun here. There's definitely going to be a pass because they have Alvin Kamara on the field. There is a pass. Fires it underneath to OBJ. Picks up 12 yards. And, I mean, they do have the receiving core. Mike Evans has been locked down. You just forget about Mike Evans. But, I mean, Amari Cooper and OBJ is obviously drawing some favorable matchups. Obviously, Jason Verrett on OBJ is going to lose, and it's not going to be good. Looks like it might be a little bit of a blitz by the Big 12. They go 5 wide here with Alvin Kamara on the field. They do bring blitz, but he gets it off quickly to Hunter Henry, and he picks up about 6 yards. I'm sorry, I mismeasured that. Hunter Henry has been arguably their most productive receiver since the Julio Jones injury. It's really the only receiver I kind of trust. His steady hands. He's made big-time plays all night. They bring Kari Blasingame onto the field for probably a run up the middle with Nick Chubb. They actually go, draw up the middle with Nick Chubb, and they make the defensive play has done a great job on these draws. I don't understand why the SEC keeps doing them because so far the defensive line has done a great job with the draw. They've been covering up the holes rather nicely, and it's one thing that the four-man rush is not getting to the passer, but the four-man rush is giving no running lanes on draws. So shotgun here for Dak Prescott. They bring their normal four-man rush, and it's going to be broken up. It's going to make an interesting 27. You're at the 27-yard line. You kick the field goal, you make it a 15-point game, but I don't know. You're already here. You got to think you might want to try for this if you're Joe Judge, but he's gotten less aggressive before. They're going to go actually field goal here with Ryan Tannehill holding. Snap's good, holds good. The kick is up by Josh Lambo, and it is good. We're looking at a 15-point ballgame with 59 seconds left in this quarter. Josh Lambo has been extremely solid here today. I mean, I don't remember a single kicker that I haven't thought was been solid in this tournament so far. Younghoe Koo is the guy that he's been a little bit inconsistent for the Sun Belt. But yeah, still up by 15 if you're the Big 12. Honestly, I think Big 12 fans could not be happier about how this game has turned out so far. Considering that in this third quarter, the offensive production just has not been there. To go up by 7 more points is insane. It's just really been their defensive prowess. Tyler Lockett is going to bring this out of the end zone. He's going to bring it to about the 22-yard line, 21-yard line, they mark it. 56 seconds left. It's going to be interesting because you haven't been able to run it so far on the ground. Joe Mixon has been clearly stuffed. Sterling Shepard has not had a catch since the second quarter. Now, again, he was killing it. He was absolutely murdering the SEC defense, which was interesting because I thought Tyler Lockett might be that guy, but Sterling Shepard has stepped up in a rather nice way tonight. Mark Andrews has been, he's been forgettable. That's all I can say about Mark Andrews. He has not been the game changer that I expected. Actually, Mahomes goes the rare under center for this team. They actually bring Danny Amendola in motion. They run it up the middle with Joe Mixon. He's going to be quickly tackled for about a 1-yard loss. And, Joe Mixon just has not been able to get going on the ground. He is averaging a little bit over 2 yards per carry in this game. He hasn't been able to get it going. But if you're going to chew clock, you have to be able to run the ball effectively. Otherwise, you're just going to have to try and pass every time, which just is not ideal if you're the Big 12 team. But, I mean, everything else has been ideal here so far for the Big 12, leading by 15 points heading into the fourth quarter. They bring Andrew Beck onto the field for this play with 30 seconds left. They actually go past here. He has plenty of time. He scrambles out to his right. He's going to scramble. He runs, picks up that first down. And, that's going to be end of this quarter, more likely than not. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think it was a really, really good quarter for the Big 12's defense, which is something I never thought I would say. The Big 12 defense kind of carried them for a quarter. The Big 12 offense kind of carried them for an entire half. But 3 interceptions on Dak Prescott is impressive, considering we don't know about this defense. 5 seconds left. We might get one more playoff, but I doubt it. 2-1. But that's the end of this quarter, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, everybody, this is GGB Coles Pepper saying adios, amigos. See you tomorrow.